Hello everyone and welcome back to STW Sports, and today I'm going to be going over my Euro 2020 group stage predictions. Now I was going to wait to the end of the tournament and do my predictions as a whole for the entire, but I just thought that would get a little bit confusing in the knockout stages, so I thought why not do a group stage one, then do my predictions for the knockouts, and then of course do a reaction to that at the end as well. So that's the way I'm going to do it. And yeah, to be fair to the group stages, I've been really impressed by them. Been some really good games to be fair. And of course as well, I think a few years ago in 2016, this third place rule was the four best go through. I wasn't a big fan of that because it made a lot of teams be reserved. They'd win one game and then they'd assume they were through. So I wasn't really a big fan of that. But I think this year, to be fair, no one's really been affected by that rule and teams have just gone for it. I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed seeing crowds as well. I mean, I know they've not been full attendances bar at Hungary and Budapest, but I've really enjoyed that side of it. So, yeah, fair play, and let's hope the knockouts can continue to be great, but I'm very excited for them now. But with this being said, I'm going to go through all 6 groups, of course, 24 teams. I'm going to do my score at the end out of 24. Let's see we had to finish where, starting with Group A. In 4th place, I had Switzerland. Now, to be fair to Switzerland, they never did as bad as what I thought. They actually finished in 3rd, and they went through as one of the best 3rd place teams. So, you know what? Fair play, Switzerland. They're not a bad team by any means, but I just wasn't really that convinced on them, to be honest. And, no, to be fair, they played really well in their opening game against Wales. They should have won that. It was a 1-1 draw in the end. They had a goal, yeah, rightly ruled out by VAR, but just on the balance of play, really, they deserved to win that game. Yeah, they were outplayed by Italy, lost comfortably 3-0. But to be fair, against Turkey, they really did play well there. 3-1 win, and usually their best player is Xherdan Shaqiri, and he's been on Liverpool's bench for a long time now, barely played at all last season, so I just kind of assumed that, he wasn't really going to make an impact, but he's got 2 goals at the tournament, to be fair to him, so yeah, fair play to him, he's doing really well, and Switzerland have done better than what I thought, so yeah, they're through to the next round, and prove me wrong. In 3rd place, I had Wales. Now, Wales, the one thing that really impresses me about them is their great team spirit. You just cannot fault their team spirit, Wales. It was great in 2016. They've just got a couple of players who elevate them to another level, the likes of Bale and Ramsey. Elevate these players who, with all due respect to them, they're not great players, but because they've got the presence around them, it seems to make them better. And don't get me wrong, Bale and Ramsey are not as good as they were in 2016, in my opinion, but hey, fair play. They've been really well, and they've really aspired Wales to finish 2nd place. They're now through to the next round as well, and got a very interesting tie against Denmark lined up, so cannot wait for that. But, fair play Wales. They've done a little bit better than what I thought. It's good to see. I was happy for them when they reached the semis in 2016. I'm happy for them again now. In 2nd place, I had Italy. Yeah, this didn't go very well. I mean, Italy actually finished 1st and, top the group. So, and then they didn't concede a single goal, scored 8, I believe it was, or 7. So, yeah, they absolutely dominated. Yeah, they scored 7 goals, conceded none actually. So, yeah, they dominated. And, don't get me wrong, Roberto Mancini's done a fantastic job. Italy didn't even qualify for the 2018 World Cup, which is near enough unforgivable, really, for a country like Italy who won the World Cup 15 years ago. It's crazy to think they didn't even make it there 12 years later, but you know what? Roberto Mancini's came in and he's done a fantastic job, and they were exceptional to watch, really. I mean, 3 very good performances from them, and for me, the team of the tournament so far, Italy, without a doubt. So, interesting to see if they can keep it up as well in the knockout stages. But yeah, I had them 2nd for some reason, but yeah, you'll find out why in a moment. And yeah, I got it wrong, they finished 1st. And in 1st place, I had Turkey. Yeah, you can all feel free to laugh at me for this one, but don't get me wrong, a lot of people thought Turkey would be their dark horses. I'm actually tipping them to get to the semi-final of this tournament. I actually tipped them to go that far, and when you look at their performances, as soon as they lost their opening game 3-0 to Italy and they were terrible, I thought, I've made a big mistake here. They conceded 8 goals overall and only scored 1. Beaten 3-0 by Italy, beaten 2-0 by Wales, and yeah, beaten 3-1 by Switzerland. So it was not good for Turkey. One of the worst teams at a major tournament I think I've seen for a while. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So yeah, got this one horribly wrong. Probably my worst prediction out of any of them I've done since starting this channel. So yeah. Now we move on to Group B. In 4th place, I had Finland. I mean, most people would have had Finland in 4th, to be fair. They actually finished in 3rd, though. I mean, their first game obviously was against Denmark, and look, the circumstances kind of overrid what happened. Yeah, what happened was bad, and should the game have gone ahead on the day of the incident? Probably not. But look, Finland still had to go out there and play like Denmark, and they got the win. So when they won this game, I actually thought, you know what, Finland could go through now. But yeah, they lost to Russia 1-0, and then they lost to Belgium on the final game. But to be fair to Finland, they did not disgrace themselves. Defensively, they were quite good throughout the tournament as well. So yeah, they never disgraced themselves. They finished third, but they're still not going through as one of the best third-place teams. But you know what? Fair play to them. But I will say one thing, though. Teemu Pukki had a very disappointing tournament. Probably one of the reasons why they're not going through. I really expected more from him. I know he's only in the Championship, but look, he scored plenty of goals there, and he got his club promoted to the Premier League. It was Norwich, so yeah, disappointed with this one, really. In third place, I had Russia. They actually finished fourth. Yeah, Russia, they're not great. I mean, I think the year delay has not helped Russia, in fairness to them, because they had, going into last year, they had a lot of momentum still off the 2018 World Cup. It's kind of got faded out now, and that was really shown at this tournament. It wasn't great. They were comfortably beaten by Belgium 3-0 in their opener, despite having home advantage. Yeah, they beat Finland 1-0 in what was a very tight game, though, in truth, and then they got thrashed by Denmark 4-1 in their last game, so it was not good. But yeah, they didn't go through. They went out in fourth. But yeah, I predicted them to go out, and they did, but just got Finland and Russia the wrong way round. In second place, I had Denmark. They actually finished second, but that doesn't really tell the full story. The first game, obviously, the circumstances, which I won't go into too much, you know, I can understand why they lost that game. Like I said earlier, I don't think it should have been played on the same day. Yeah, you know what? It's one of them. They did lose that game. They played amazing in the first half against Belgium. Absolutely brilliant, but they still lost the game 2-1. And then their final game, they won 4-1 against Russia, which sent them through on only 3 points. So they're a little bit lucky to get out of the group, in my opinion. But, hey, they've done it, to be fair to them. And, yeah, credit to Denmark. It's a good achievement. And now they've got a good tie lined up against Wales. And I got this one spot on, even though I thought they would get more points. And in first place, I had Belgium. I mean, to be honest, looking at the group, I had them to get 9 points. They did. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't always easy. The Russia game was easy. They had a real fight of it against Denmark. Kevin De Bruyne came on, completely changed that game. And then their final game against Finland, it took them a while to break the deadlock. So this was not easy for Belgium. Yeah, they got 9 points as I predicted because of their quality, but they didn't make things easy, and now they've got to do well in the knockouts. In fact, I think Belgium had Portugal in the last 16, so I cannot wait for that game. But Belgium have been good, but I still think they've got another gear in them. And hey, this could be the last chance for the golden generation. But yeah, I had them to finish top on 9 points, and they did, so I did also get this one right. So now we move into Group C. In my opinion, probably the most weakest group in the tournament, as I said in my predictions video. In fourth place, I put North Macedonia. They did finish in fourth on 0 points. To be fair to them, they never disgraced themselves, though, too much. I mean, they did okay throughout the tournament. They actually scored a couple of goals as well. But, yeah, it was always going to be a bit of a push for them, I think, to win, to go through and stuff like that. But they did very well to get here. They did finish bottom, so, yeah, I got this one right. But, I mean, most people would have predicted this, unfortunately. In third place, I had Ukraine. They did finish third in the end, thanks to a 1-0 loss to Austria in the final game. To be fair to Ukraine, they did okay. They've actually gone through as one of the best third-place teams as well, so credit to them. They actually did quite well, to be honest, in some ways. But, yeah, still not overly convinced by them. I got this spot on. They did finish third. And in second place, I had Austria. I'd got this right as well. Austria ended on 6 points. Yeah, fair play to them. I mean, I'm not that convinced on Austria's team, but they've still got a couple of good players in there. So, yeah, fair play to them. They got this through, and of course, I got this one right as well. And in first place, I had Netherlands. Now, I don't know what to make of Netherlands, really. They're a good team, don't get me wrong, but they're better than what they have been, of course. They didn't even qualify for 2016 or 2018. So they're back now. They finished on 9 points, but with the group they had, they probably would have fancied themselves, and they made hard work of the Ukraine game, of course, throwing away a 2-goal lead, but ended up winning it in the end. Comfortably swept past North Macedonia in the final game. And yeah, Austria as well. Fair play to Netherlands. They topped the group, so Frank de Boer did, he's done well enough. Now we move on to Group D, which of course is England's group. In fourth place, I had Czech Republic. To be fair to Czechs, they did a hell of a lot better than what I thought in this tournament. They beat Scotland 2-0 at Hampden Park. I didn't expect that result, to be honest, because it was home advantage for Scotland, and to be fair, they they did play quite well in that game, Scotland, but Czech took their chances. And I'll say as well, Schick's goal, the second goal, was the best of the tournament so far. One of the best in the Euros ever, in fact. Absolutely fantastic goal from him. So yeah, 4th place. I didn't get it right. They finished 3rd in the end, and they went through as one of the best 3rd place teams. So I did get this one wrong. In 3rd place, I had Scotland. I actually had Scotland to go through as one of the best 3rd place teams, and my thinking behind this, of course, was Scotland. You know, they got to a tournament for the first time since 1998. They're going to be so up for this. They're going to, you know, and to be fair, they were. They played well against Czech, but they just couldn't get any goals. They got a 0-0 with England. It was a pretty dull game, but Scotland, if anyone deserved to win it, it probably was Scotland, believe it or not. In their final game, beaten 3-1 by Croatia. They weren't bad. I mean, their performances weren't as bad as maybe 1 point, but they did go out in the end, finishing 4th. So yeah, I got this one wrong. I just got Czech and Scotland the wrong way round. In 2nd place, I had Croatia, and they did finish 2nd, so I got this one spot on. Beaten by 1-0 in their opening game to England, deservedly beaten in truth. A 1-1 draw with Czech, they had to come from behind to get a draw there, and then a 3-1 win against Scotland was the big one. Fair play, Croatia. Obviously, this is an aging team now. A lot of players have retired from their 2018 heroic final. So, you know, the finalists in 2018, of course, the World Cup was a great achievement. I don't see them going much further now, but, you know, to be fair to them, though, they're still, you know, they're still a good team, and they could go far again, but I don't know. I'm still thinking they'll fall quite short at this time around. But no, they've done okay so far. Not great, but they've got out the group. They finished 2nd, as I predicted. And 1st place, I had England, and I was spot on. England did finish 1st on 7 points. I also said in my video, England will not get 9 points. England never get 9 points at the end of the day, so I just didn't accept fancy it here, and they never. So 1-0 against Croatia, deserved win. A 0-0 against Scotland, a pretty poor game. And a deserved 1-0 win against Czech. The second half wasn't great, but they got there in the end. So England are through to the next round and have lined up a fantastic game against. I'll tell you in a minute who it's against, but yeah, it's going to be a cracker, that's for sure. I cannot wait. But yeah, I got 2 out of 4 in this group, another 2 right. Group E, in 4th place, I had Slovakia. Now, Slovakia actually didn't finish 4th. In fact, they finished 3rd, but that doesn't really tell the story. Yeah, they won against in their first game against Poland. Fair play to them, good win. But, you know, that's about it. I mean, they did okay, I guess, against Sweden. It was a very dull game, that one. Sweden won 1-0. They were beaten 5-0, though, by Spain, which is quite embarrassing against a Spain team who aren't really that great at the moment. But, hey-ho, they did okay to get here. They actually finished 3rd, not 4th, so I did get this one wrong. In 3rd place, I had Sweden. Now, Sweden actually won the entire group, so yeah, I got this one quite wrong as well. No, look, fair play to Sweden. Obviously, you know, without Zlatan, etc. I mean, I know they got to the quarter-final of 2018 World Cup without him, but I just didn't really fancy him, to be honest. I don't know why, I just wasn't really convinced on Sweden in this tournament. But yeah, I had to finish 3rd, and they actually, you know, finished top of the group and 7 points. So yeah, fair play to them, and it's been quite an encouraging tournament for them so far. So yeah, got proved wrong here. In 2nd place, I had Poland. They actually finished in 4th. Yeah, it wasn't a good tournament. 1 point for them. It was, you know, a lot of people did say to me, look, Poland aren't that great now. They won't get out of the group. And they've been proven right, and I've been proven wrong. I really thought they'd get to I said quarter-final for Poland, and the only reason was Lewandowski. In truth, Lewandowski wasn't great, even when he did get the service, so I was quite underwhelmed by him. But Poland are out already, so yeah, disappointed really with them. Expected better. And in 1st place, I had Spain. They actually finished 2nd. I wasn't that convinced with Spain, to be honest, going into the tournament. I mean, obviously, look, the golden generation will never be topped. It's going to be difficult to replace them players, but they still got 5 points and finished 2nd and got out of the group, so it's not all doom and gloom. But I don't know, a 0-0 draw with Sweden, quite an unconvincing one. A 1-1 draw with Poland, and of course as well, it was a 5-0 thumping against Slovakia, which they completely did play well, to be fair to them. But yeah, just not really that convinced on Spain yet. They've got out the group on 2nd place. I had them 1st, so I actually got 0 out of 4 in that group. And finally, Group F, the Group of Death. In 4th place, of course, I had Hungary. But you know what? Fair play, Hungary. I'm going to say it. Like, no one thought Hungary would get 2 points. If you offered Hungary 2 points in this group, they'd have taken it all day long. And you know what? Fair play to them. They performed a hell of a lot better than what I thought they would. So, yeah, And yeah, 2 points. They actually drew with France and Germany. They were close to going through at one point. At one point, they were going through and were going to face England. So they performed a hell of a lot better than what I thought. And they made a very interesting group already, even more entertaining. So fair play, Hungary. But yeah, they still went home in 4th place. So I did get this one right. In 3rd place, I had Germany. They actually finished in 2nd. You know, fair play Germany. They, first game against France, they were quite poor, to be honest. France deserved to win. It was a pretty easy win for them in that game. Other than that, they were fantastic against Portugal. A 4-2 win. They completely played them off the park, really, going forward. And Losens and Kimmich, their fullbacks, were exceptional. Yeah, they've got a bit of convincing, and it is Germany who will face England in the last 16. Cannot wait for that game at Wembley Stadium. So much history between the two. Obviously, Gareth Southgate, who missed the penalty in 1996, will be eager to get his revenge. So, cannot wait for that one. But yeah, Germany 2nd place. I got it wrong in the end. I had 3rd, so fair play. In 2nd place, I had Portugal. Not right, they finished 3rd. So just Germany and Portugal the wrong way round. 4 points, 3-0 win against Hungary. Wasn't convincing though. All 3 of their goals were late on in the game. 4-2 loss against Germany. They were quite poor in that one. And their final game, a very entertaining 2-2 draw with France. One thing I will say though, Cristiano Ronaldo, what a legend. I mean, the record. Every game he plays, he breaks a record, I swear. He's that good. 5 goals already at the tournament. Well on course for the Golden Boot. Forgetting he's in his mid-30s. It's absolutely insane what he's doing. So yeah, amazing stuff. So fair play Ronaldo. And 1st place, I had France. I did get this right, but it wasn't the most convincing. I mean, when they beat Germany 1-0, but played very well in their first game, I was actually thinking this was going to be, this is going to be France are going to win this group on 9 points maybe. But yeah, no, it wasn't the case. They actually only got 5 in the end. A little bit of complacency maybe from France against Hungary, a 1-1 draw. And then they drew 2-2 in their final game as well. So bit of an interesting one really for them. Not quite clicked into a high gear yet, but hey, you know what? They're never in the World Cup till late on, and then they won the tournament. So France have more than enough quality to get through. So yeah, I had them top. They finished top. So yeah, I got it right. So that leaves my final score with 10 out of 24. You know what? I'm quite happy with that. That's nearly half of them right. I'm 2 away from half, so I'm happy with this, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'll take this from the groups. The 4 best 3rd place teams going through are Czech Republic, Portugal, Ukraine and Switzerland. So good luck to all of them, of course, in the last 16 and everyone else as well, of course, who is competing. Very excited. I'm really enjoyed this tournament so far, and I really hope it continues to be good. But yeah, 10 out of 24, I'm really happy with that. Near enough half right, but some of them, of course, were very obvious, to be honest. I'm not going to give myself too much credit, but yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll take it in the end. So yeah, but that is a wrap anyway, guys, on my Euro 2020 group stage predictions. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to STW Sports, and I'll be back tomorrow with my knockout stage predictions. See you then.